Hello everybody, Slotholopolis here with the Average Gamer Guys doing our spotlight on games with gold for the Xbox One. The first half of April brings us this game, Ryse, Son of Rome. This was actually a flagship launch title for the Xbox One, because there's a flagship on the screen. Jokes. It's actually a launch title for the Xbox One. A game that I think really was put out there to really show what this new console could do graphically. There was a lot of concern about the new age, the quote unquote next gen consoles, not really having the best hardware kind of compared to what's out there on the PC market. So I really feel like Microsoft put a lot of eggs in the graphical basket for this game to say, look, this Xbox One can do a lot. It can look great, and take into account that it did launch with the Xbox One, so it's been out for quite a few years now. I think the game looks great. It's maybe a little bit behind today's standards, but I really do feel like it's aged pretty well. It's set obviously in Rome. We're looking at kind of a historical hack and slash kind of game. If you want to think of like a Western style of Dynasty Warriors, that kind of thing. The battles are not going to be near as large scale, I should say, but it's going to kind of feel a little bit like that. If I had to kind of condense it down, I would say that this game is Dynasty Warriors with elements of kind of Batman Arkham series, with the Arkham Knight and Arkham Asylum, things like that. The dev team seemed like they kind of made a lot of decisions based on flow of the game and making everything feel solid. So this is very much a melee combat, button press combo kind of thing, much like like we've talked about with Dynasty Warriors, XXY repeatedly. But here, this is early game. They are going to bring in some ideas to kind of break things up. So we see a little bit of ranged combat, just throwing spears at enemy archers. I actually didn't realize at first it's completely auto aim. I just pull one trigger and it auto aims right onto the guys, and then I hold the right trigger, and the game even tells me when to let go, when I've actually charged up enough to get the distance on the throw for the kill. And I really didn't appreciate that the game held my hand that much at first. But the more I think about it, it really seems like they wanted this element to be in the game, but they didn't want it to be clunky. They wanted it to flow with the rest of the game, and that kind of makes sense. And I actually have come to the point where I've supported that decision. You'll actually see the vaulting and stuff here. That stuff is not a button press either. That's straight run up to the area and you either vault up or vault down. So again, it seems like something that they kind of compromised on to make the game really feel smooth. You'll see these executions are quick time events. Again, it's only the two buttons that you're pressing, X or Y. Running kind of through some tutorial stuff here because it is early game. But that's going to be the kind of the finishing moves that are neat. As far as the game kind of feeling like a Arkham series from the Batman, you'll see me kind of block things when fighting multiple enemies. It's very much timing based and kind of button press. So as long as I press A at the right time, while the guy's getting ready to attack me, like right there, I turn my attention from one enemy to the other and block him. And it actually feels wonderful to fight multiple enemies at the same time. And that's something that I thought was really neat. To really fight 3-4 enemies at a time. You see me start to get encircled here by enemies, and I don't do a great job of blocking, but it really does feel nice to fight all these enemies at the same time. You kind of want to take all these barbarians on at the same time because you feel like such an awesome warrior, because you're taking everybody on at the same time, and kind of making these executions happen and things. As far as those combos and things go, the game, I feel like, as far as attacking multiple enemies and fighting multiple people and getting combos and things like that, it should feel consistent. it should feel like I need some skill to do so, and it should feel like I should be able to replicate it anytime I want, provided that I have enough practice. And all of that is basically founded on the foundation of it being fun. I don't want to just be XXY, XXY, XXY all game, because I'm going to get really bored. And the one thing that I really do appreciate about this game is it doesn't feel like that. It feels fun. I don't feel like I'm wasting my time and just kind of just doing the same thing over and over. That's kind of the good. Now the bad is this part. You're going to see two different forms of currency here. You're going to see the little V wing kind of thing there, and then you're going to see the coins. Valor is earned in-game through doing combos and executions and things like that. The coins, the gold, is actually in-game currency that you get by buying with real currency. I don't understand that. I don't understand the need for that. It's a single-player campaign, and I have Valor coming out of my ears. I just don't understand the need or the want to throw a microtransaction like that into a game like this. And it really makes me wonder if Microsoft was really pushing that because they knew that they were going to be pushing a lot of microtransactions because there's just so much money in it. If they kind of wanted us to get used to it. And I don't really like that. That frustrates me a little. But I don't know. It's something that I don't really feel like should have been in there or needed to be in there. But you know, if you don't use it, then it doesn't really bother you, I guess. But that's my big drawback from this game. You kind of see here they again wanted to throw a little bit more in there. They wanted you to be able to control more and things like that. It's usually just kind of some button presses. Not much to it, but it does add kind of a neat little addition into some things. The world can kind of be big here. I think that's, again, just kind of showing off some graphical prowess and capability there. But the world can be big enough. You're not going to see gigantic hordes of enemies, but you are going to see enough. And it's fun. It's actually really neat, and I like it. The story is really cool. What I've seen so far, it's set with the Romans, so there's kind of some Roman gods interfering and stepping in certain places. But the whole thing really feels like the gods' family and country, and that's neat. It's kind of a cool premise to build off of. So if you have any want to ever play this game, I do recommend it. I have actually really enjoyed it in my time so far. I have not finished it yet, but I do plan to do so. It's actually really cool. Even if you don't plan on playing it right now, since it is a game for gold, just initiate the download and you can actually cancel that download, and it will always show up on the store from that point on that you own that game. So even if you don't want to do it now, take advantage of what Microsoft's willing to give us. So just start that download up at the very least, because I do recommend this game. Speaking for Doc and myself, we are really appreciative of all of the views and the attention and stuff that we've gotten, way more than we ever planned or ever hoped for. So we really do appreciate you, and I hope you guys have a great day. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.